pair, and a pleasure to be around. Traveler, we were just discussing the history of Rex Lapis.
This, good sir, seems not to appreciate the almighty power of the Lord of Geo. As a professional archaeologist, I'm inclined to correct some of his erroneous views. We are discussing the whereabouts of the first Mora.
As everyone knows, the Lord of Geo taught the ancient people of Liyue the craft of smelting, creating goods that allowed them to... Today, Liyue holds the sole right to cast Mora in the entire continent of Teyvat. The world's very first Mora...
According to my research, as well as my own hypothesis, I believe that this coin of unique historical significance has been passed down secret. For example, perhaps the Qixing who control the Liyue use it in some kind of unknown ceremony they hold.
No. My research indicates that the Mora is a catalyst. This we all know. Even today, Mora is used in the mystic. The world's first Mora would no doubt possess the strongest power. My next history, that is, that the Lord of Geo, Well, buy the book when it comes out to read the full story. For now...
I can't say I agree. Let us not speak of the authenticity of the dagger and sword first. But Mora and money came about simply because Rex Lapis just meant for Mora to serve as a catalyst for people to exchange and trade. The world's first Mora is probably just an ordinary coin created by Rex Lapis.
I think that Mr. Hanshua's hypothesis seems reasonable. Mr. Zhongli's argument, on the other hand, lacks any evidence.
No, I am not debating right or wrong.
Enough! Do you think you understand the Lord of Geo more than me?
I know but little about history, and I wouldn't dare to brag. But discussion is meaningless if everyone has the same opinion, no?
Well then, answer me this. Long ago, when Liyue Harbor was being constructed, the Lord of Geo taught the people how to build houses. The model home he used to teach them was complete.
That is correct, indeed.
Okay, then tell me. Why would the Lord of Geo do something so extravagant, if not because of the mystical...
There's a simple explanation, really. To the god of wealth and commerce, what material is easier to get than Mora? I mean, I am talking about Rex Lapis.
Excuse me, sir. I have some questions about archaeology. Can we find somewhere quiet to chat?
Oh, it's no problem at all. But may my friend accompany us? Perhaps they could be of some help.
Of course. They can come if that's what pleases you, sir. What I'm about to say is a bit disrespectful of the Lord of Geo and would draw a lot of angry looks. So it's best to Your argument just now exhibited acuteness of speech and thought. Most importantly, you don't fall for the boasting and act. So I have a question for you. Perhaps you will answer differently from other scholars. Do you think that all the gods that the Geo Archon killed were evil?
Let's not analyze it in terms of good versus evil. Rex Lapis placed great importance on the integrity of contracts.
But when I was doing some research, I learned about the legend of the god of salt. The god of salt, Havria, was a very kind god, but she encountered Morax one day in battle. Morax used a rather underhanded trick.
This bit of history is a long story. But you may...
Don't worry, please tell me what you know. This event, I've already searched for answers for a long time.
No, it's just... Where should...
over here. Mr. Zhongli, I've been looking for you. So you're over here all... First of all, I'm not holding a weapon. There's no need to overreact now. I'm simply an archaeological researcher from Snezhnaya. I'm not here for trouble. But this time, I registered with the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs. I could show you the official documentation if I will be conducting an archaeological survey here, the results of which I heard that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor had a consultant named Zhongli with immense knowledge of ancient history and archaeology. So I paid Wangsheng Funeral Parlor a handsome amount to hire...
So you mean to say that this is work for the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor, yes? Well, since it's work, I don't have a choice. A consultant of the Wangsheng Funeral...
Of course you would be such a reasonable man. Well then, let's head out now, shall we?
Wait, if you are studying archaeology, can I go too? I am also a...
That will give us a chance to continue the topic we were just discussing. Oh, and you should tag along. This experience may be of help to you on your future adventures. It is a story from before the rise of the Seven. Although the god of salt has already perished, it will still be a meaningful...
Wait. This is an archaeological expedition, not a tour group. That's too many people.
But this friend of mine has a treasure-finding talent, surpassed by no one.
Oh? What talent?
If my friend espies a treasure chest, they will absolutely find a way to open it.
Well, that is quite enticing. Well, let's go. There's no time to waste. When the Overlord of the Vortex was crushed by the Jade Chamber recently, perhaps something of interest was washed ashore. An ancient artifact would be good. Traces of ancient activity would be great. But a piece of the god's limb would be even better. This place looks so ordinary. Can we really... I don't mean the scenery, but rather that there should be something out of the ordinary. A big battle did just occur in...
Guyan Stone Forest is actually the perfect place to be, if you wish to learn about the gods or the hit. Legend has it that Rex Lapis threw spears made of large rock into the sea here, piercing and crushing the Overlord of the Vortex. After many years of wind erosion, those stone spears have turned into the unique rock formations we see now. What we see now is just the part of them that remains. The stone spears hurled by Rex Lapis all those years ago were much greater, both in number, but due to the different angles they landed at, their large centers of mass, erosion by seawater, and years of gravity. So besides wind erosion, the initial collapsing of the stone spears also played a big part.
Well, a god able to fight one so powerful as Rex Lapis was certainly...
Indeed. This is where the value lies in most of the objects from that time were lost to the sea. But the gigantic waves created by the Overlord of the Vortex have given those sunken objects a chance to see the light of day again.
So you're saying that if we look carefully, we'll be able to get very, very rich... rich with archaeological knowledge? Well, since we brought so many people, I think it would be best to split up and look.
Okay then. I will go with my friend here. Although I have a smattering of knowledge...
Huh? Me?
What's the matter? This is your profession. Why are you so surprised?
I get it. I'll escort him then.
Okay. If we find anything valuable or rare, let's... The ancient god probably left behind lots of elemental marks. Following them should make our search much easier.
Let me scribe. La la la. Ooh, boing boing boing. La la la. Jumpy dumpty toe. Shadows of fate.
Guyan Stone Forest is a place where a god was defeated, and its remnants still affect the area to this day.
Think you can get away? Here we go. Brace yourself. Jumpy dumpty toe. La la la. Boing boing boing.
See that object in the center? Perhaps it emits the remnant strength of the god. That would certainly attract them. The hydromanic waters. I have a contract and must put my personal feelings aside. Go ahead, defeat them, and recover the relic. a stone slab, but its design is quite unique. This should be enough to garner some information. Let's head back.
Call yourself a scholar of archaeology? You can't even recognize this.
We all have our areas of expertise. I already tried very hard to explain.
This girl just keeps bragging about how she's an archaeologist, but she doesn't even know anything about the surrounding ruins. She left me to rely solely on guessing, experience, to find anything valuable to take back.
I've just been researching the god of salt, so I'm not familiar with sea relics. Is that so strange? And you kept asking about how much Mora everything is worth. Can the value of relics...
Isn't measuring their value in Mora the easy...
Now, calm down. No need to make a fuss. Oh, what a shame. These objects were indeed washed ashore by the Overlord of the Vortex. But they have nothing to do with the god beside... The stone slab we found, however, has a mysterious pattern and faint aura of...
Quick, give it to me. At least we didn't come for nothing. The power of the gods, yes! This is good. Oh, but these other objects are certainly worth a little something, right? It should be enough to cover the cost of hiring...
Not at all. My quest to uncover the history of the god of salt is because history can tell us about cold... But you're just trying to use archaeology...
Nonsense! I'm a professional archaeology researcher from Snezhnaya. I swear, if I'm lying...
Oh, by the way, you probably don't want to sell that teacup.
Oh? Why?
That's not an ancient teacup. It's part of Ningguang's collection. It must have fallen here along with the Jade Chamber. So unless you want to mess...
I see. What a shame. It would...
See? You do want to sell these objects!
But, so what? Why can't I pursue wealth both intellectual and material? All right, then. No need to stay here any longer.
on, traveler. Let's go. The world is full of lost ballads just waiting to be rediscovered.
I heard that Salterai was once the home of the god of Salt's people. Therefore, there's sure to be loads.
According to legend, the people of the god of Salt, Havria, enjoyed prosperous lives under her protection. But this legend has been around for ages, with the countless scrap collectors and treasure hoarders in the...
Oh, good. That's just great. If I knew it was picked this clean before, I wouldn't have...
About that, I know there's a ruin deep in this cave here. It's related to the god of Salt. However, the ruin entrance has been sealed by a mysterious power. I found a mechanism that seemed to be related to the seal, but when I undid the mechanism... So at the moment, the seal's origin and how to break it are very important topics in my research on the god of Salt. I don't know, there's no concrete evidence, but I'm pretty sure the seal is... The god of Salt was a benevolent god, adored by the people, not to mention powerful. So, the one who wants to hide some truth...
Who cares about all that? It sounds like countless treasures of the god of Salt lie with...
You weren't listening at all, were you? Even if there's a mountain of treasures inside...
Ah, but we have the illustrious Mr. Zhongli with us. He looks like he knows just about everything.
This seal seems to be quite ancient. Even Mr. Zhongli may not know all...
I may know something about it.
What?
Over the years, I've heard various rumors with bits of knowledge about seals. Although their references seem... Let's go take a look at the mechanism Miss Wanyan just mentioned.
Okay, since Mr. Zhongli says so, follow me then. Here it is. There's some debris scattered here that, when put together, look like they definitely had to do with the god of Salt. According to the inscription on the side, if one looks from a certain angle, the secret to the mechanism will be revealed. See that? Although we activated the mechanism, nothing happened to the seal.
That's because there's actually another mechanism that must be activated.
Another?
Let me lead the way from here.
This place seems familiar. Huh, I remember. When I investigated the seal last time, but when we lit up all the elemental monuments, nothing.
That's because you don't just need to activate them at the same time, but in a certain order as well. Otherwise, the seal will not be broken. The secret to this puzzle is hidden in the legends of Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Qingce in the north, all desolate and devoid of life. Liyue is vast.
To the north, to the east. Do the people of Liyue always talk in...
I think I've heard this saying before.
Certainly you have. And the contents of to provide a haven for her people, whose lives had been ravaged at that time with the chaotic and that haven she eventually found.
How sad then.
Okay, enough with these ancient stories. Now that we have the clue, hurry up and break.
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Jingse in the north. With this clue, you should be able to...
Let me scry.
Let the show begin!
Behold, the princess...
Look! The seal really was broken!
I'll take care of it.
It was nothing, really. Now, it's time that people learn the hidden truth lost to time. Before entering the ruin, I have a proposal that will help us prevent the kind of senseless arguing between you two that we saw at...
Okay. What it...
I propose you two agree upon a contract, stipulating that we alternate who gets claim to each treasure we encounter. To show my sincerity, I won't be taking any treasure. This will just be between you all.
I don't agree. I mean, you want me to split the treasure with this amateur archaeologist?
I don't agree either. He will only defile the precious relics left behind by the god of...
Well then, if the contract is not agreed upon, you will have to rely on your own experience to find whatever treasures are hidden in this ruin.
You have the audacity to demand this. Okay then. Even half of the treasure in the long-sealed room...
If you want me to agree upon this contract, so be it. I just have one request. If we discover the truth behind the god of salt, you must judge it fair.
I can accept this arrangement. Well then, let's go.
Yahoo!
Are these statues?
No. These are people.
Ugh.
They were probably followers of the god of salt.
How did they become this way?
What in the world is hidden? Deep in this ruin.
Solidify!
Crumble!
Look at this! It's filled halfway with salt.
It just looks like a fancy salt holder. Seems like the god of salt was a god lacking.
According to my knowledge, it's no ordinary vessel. Although it is
What? You're saying that even if I pour the salt out, the amount...
Exactly.
Able to produce endless salt.
Finally, after all that effort, I just need to pour the endless salt into 1,000 or 10,000 bags. I can sell it and make a fortune!
Hey! How can you use a relic of the god of salt for...
If Mr. Clement wants this salt chalice, then the next object...
Of course, as we agreed. But how can anything be worth more than this rare find?
Since we have a contract, it's no use for me to...
Then let's move on, shall we?
I will have order.
Decided by destiny. Leave it too late. Ready, steady, go. Time for takeoff.
just a simple ruler. It doesn't look to be worth anything.
This, if I remember correctly...
Indeed. But the god of salt imbued it with enough. When you stick this ruler in the ground, the surrounding area will become covered in salt. The deeper it is stuck in the ground, the more salt will appear. It is a...
What? That's even better than the salt chalice!
Well then, according to our contract, the salt ruler goes to me.
No, unacceptable. I paid for and organized this entire expedition. Why should I get the short end of the stick? And this girl has been useless! Why would she get anything?
So you are saying you want to break the...
So what if I break it? Now that I've seen how the mechanisms in this ruin work, I no longer need you. Let's not forget who hired who here. Why should I?
Because you agreed to a contract. Rex Lapis once said, "Ones who break their contracts shall suffer the wrath of the rock."
That is one of your Liyue gods. I am from Snezhnaya.
Will suffer the wrath of the rock. You may find it rather unpleasant.
Pay your dues. This is orders. Getting so soon. Crumble. Quake. So soon.
Let the show begin!
Solidify. This is order.
I shall confiscate your treasure as well. You are not worthy to continue any further into the ruin.
Oh, darn you! Just you wait.
Clement's wrongdoing stemmed from greed, yes. But besides greed, there are many... When people see the object of their dreams, how... I think we should be honest with each other now. That in truth, not a single member of this archaeological expedition...
Why do you say that?
Miss, you lack even the most basic archaeological knowledge, and can recognize naught but a few simple relics. You aren't interested in archaeology or relics. I believe those legends about the god of salt that you mentioned on the Pearl Gap...
Okay, that's enough. Sir, you are indeed a man of great knowledge and talents. I seem to have been right to see... You're right. I'm not a scholar of archaeology. I come from one of the... Our ancestors were those protected by the god of salt all those years ago, when the Archon War engulfed the land in chaos. During the war, Morax assassinated our god out of envy for her power. He left us alone and lost in the world. We hate him! But this is Morax's Liyue after all. So I seek proof of Morax's guilt. He has blood on his hands and cruelty in his heart. We agreed to a contract that we will face the truth head on, didn't we, Mr. Zhongli? You must judge this history fairly.
Naturally, of course. But I must add, come with me. All the answers.
Quake! Quake! Solidify! Quake! Crumble! Quake! Crumble! Order guide you. Quake!
Let the show begin!
Rise! Rise! Quake! I will have order. Quake!
Yahoo!
This is a sword? Aha! It's a broken sword! This is proof! This proves that the god of salt had to fight back. The power of this sword surely is much greater than that of the salt chalice and salt ruler. If we can repair the sword, then we can show the world the mighty power of the god of salt.
Two pieces of a broken sword. From an archaeological perspective, these are two separate relics.
Why? We were alternating claims to
Yes, but the only one
This logic!
When there's a contract, nothing can be allowed to slide. If the contract is not followed...
No! If I only take one half, then it can't be repaired, and the power of the god of salt cannot be restored. No matter what, I must be faithful to her, even if it breaks the contract. I don't care.
So you are already decided? That is to say, you can...
That's okay. The god of salt gave up her life to protect her people. Punish me however you want. Just let me take this proof of my faith.
Perhaps that punishment would be easier for her. As punishment, I will tell you the truth.
Huh? The truth? You mean the truth is my punishment?
Yes. The truth that I am about to tell you shall be your price to pay for breaking. I'm afraid to say that the god of salt, Havria, was not the rather she was a small and weak god who yielded to all other gods. When it came to war, she lost, never able to win a seat among...
What?
During the Archon War, the gods of this world used all their strength and cunning but Havria instead chose to flee. She thought that by giving up before a fight could start, however, during such a long war, there is no end to the advances. After making countless concessions, Havria lost all of her lands, until only one
No. It can't...
In her last days, she had not even a single blade to defend her people with.
Not even a single blade?
This sword is not a relic belonging to the god of salt, but is instead the murder weapon used to kill her.
Murder weapon? No! That's not true! That can't be true! You're trying...
As I said before,
Preposterous! You are a follower of...
Indeed. Otherwise, why would I use the truth as punishment? Let's follow her deeper into the ruin. There, I feel...
Quake!
Salt and betrayal.
What are all these? What did they see? What did they do? What?
Since you do not trust me, let us continue onward. That which lies beyond this door will show you... This is the scene of the crime. Havria's body dissipated, leaving nothing but these traces of salt. Her dying moments have since been frozen in time to this very day. The story continues that some among her people realized at last that this gentle... The Archon War was cruel in the extreme. Instead of consigning her to the agony of defeat, they thought perhaps it would be better to give... No matter how weak the god, the power that flows forth when they are slain is beyond the strength of mortal coils to bear. Those who could not flee were thus... Those of her people who were untouched by this disaster left for Liyue, where they sought refuge with Rex Lap. Their descendants feared Havria's remnants and lived in terror that she had laid upon them, so they risked their lives to come here, to break the sword and offer up obeisances in hopes that her anger might be, but they need not have done so. For how could a god who had never once resisted, even till the end?
Even if this is so, this must be a lie. A false history. Don't you dare try to shake my faith!
This is the price she must pay. Yet I would not call it a bad thing. Judging by how she appeared, I fear that she will struggle for a time. But even if she may not escape that struggle immediately. Indeed, in ages past, Havria's story served as a warning to me. Faith in a god who has already passed will do you. So it is for Havria. And so it is for Morax also. All right then. Now, would you... Treading old ground, telling old stories. One cannot help but be reminded of...
Yahoo!
Now, I mentioned before that many gods of old, the Adepti, have presently handed Liyue over to mortals, and Havria's time was even further in the past. The Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler that she left behind should not return to Liyue. To leave them here is to let them slumber. And it is also a homecoming. I ended an era with my own two hands. I've always wondered how I should remember. History records, but history may be changed. This incident proved that. Time is a mighty force, and history's twist in its flow. I need to find a better way of recording history in order to stone carvings were one such ancient method. But unchanging stone, immovable earth, even one such as myself. Therefore, I thought of you, traveler. You are one who crosses the celestial atlas, and who passes through countless worlds. If our history, as long as a traveler like you is able to record what happened, then a backup of sorts will exist for times and tides of Teyvat. Now then, it is time that we consigned both the Salt Chalice. As I said before, this includes Osial, Overlord of the Vortex, who the Jade Chamber most recently returned. Thousands of years ago, the Adepti and I fought against the turmoil that plagued every corner of this land. Guyan Stone Forest, where I sealed many gods with my spears. After so long, naught but folk tales remain. Osial, you and I were foes, but our ancient grudge is but a bygone memory now. May that which Havria has left behind be yours to subsume. And thus another spark of divinity departs from Liyue. My legacy shall now be left to those who come after to debate. I will remain here for a while. I fear that moments of reminiscence like this... We did not measure right and wrong during the days of the Archon War, and of course, as I am now, I will remain here for a while. I fear that moments of reminiscence like this can only... Though the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler do have power in their own right, they are nothing if a day comes when he should recover his strength and return. I will remain here for a while. That is a good question. But now... Yes, but if this journey was to your liking, why don't you come along the next time I am seeking to preserve memories of Liyue's past?